Hey guys, Janet here today. So what I have for you guys today is the Krazy Kreations November Card Club kit. Now this kit is not available at this point for purchase because I just could not get this video filmed fast enough for that. But I wanted to just kind of show you guys, you know, what it's like to put one of these kits together in case you're ever thinking about getting one. So this kit is Christmas themed, so that's always fun. And what I normally do is I make one of each of these cards, and then I use my own papers to do different ones. In this case, just because things are busy right now with the holiday season, it takes me time to go through my stash and pick out papers and all of that. So I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to make them all the same. I'm not going to make them all in this video though. So what I've done is I've cut all the pieces for each card. So just to show you, there's 3 of each. I'm making 3 of each the same, but I'm only going to make 1 of each for this video. The other ones I'll make on my own. And then what's left with paper is this. Now this did not come as a glittered paper. This is just a plaid piece. I decided to make it a glittered paper because I thought it would look cool. However, upon doing that, it didn't come out as pretty as I wanted it to. It's not that vibrant. So anyway, that's that. But I had that whole sheet left. And then I have scraps. The only thing, if you are going to make 3 of each card, you are going to have to add cardstock. You will usually have enough pattern paper to make it through. I think I did this time. I think there's times where I've made kits before that I didn't. And it didn't matter because I was using my own paper too. But anyway, if you want to see what came in the kit, just watch the video that I filmed for this that shows what's in the kit. But otherwise, I'm going to just get right into it and not go over all of that again because I did already film it. So that said, not only do I have the pieces pre-cut, because you all know how to cut paper. You don't need to see me cut paper. I have a Brother Scan and Cut, which enables me to cut these shapes out so that I don't have to do all that fussy cutting. But I am going to show you the process of doing it in case you've never done it before. So with the kit, you get a sheet of glitter paper. I'm going to use an outline sticker that I'm going to end up actually using probably in my next class. It's a little fox. So you're basically going to use your tweezers and you're going to pull your outline sticker off. If you don't have tweezers, you can use your fingers, but the tweezers are much more helpful. You're going to kind of let the sticker relax, and you're just going to, you know, you can even drag it to kind of get it to be straightened out, but typically I kind of just lift it up, I set it down, I set like a part of it down, and then I hold on to that so I can get this off my tweezers. And then you're going to do what's called burnishing, which is rubbing it in. That's going to seal the sticker really good onto the glitter paper, and it's going to kind of make the glitter come to life a little bit. The oils from your fingers do help, you know, make the glitter more vibrant. And I'm just going to add his little eyeballs in here. So yeah, this sticker does not come with this kit. Again, I'm just doing this right now to show you what the process is if you've never used Krazy Kreations vinyl stickers and glitter paper. So then you would color him and cut him out. But I basically put a bunch of these on a sheet at one time and run it through my scan and cut so it cuts them out for me. So that's the process. So once you have that, then you can do your coloring. But I'm going to start with the first card. And we'll see how long this video is as to whether I'm going to add border stickers to all my cards. But I will add border stickers to them. So basically the kit does give you the cutting dimensions for all your papers. And then we do have some snowflakes and stayings and other things from the sheets that are going to be used for, but this is what they look like after you peel them off. So anyway, we are going to just jump right into getting these cards started so that hopefully I have time to do the border stickers. If not though, again, I will. So I'm going to make 1 of each, but I have all of them prepped. So I will at some point put the other ones together. I already have enough holiday cards for this season. I don't actually need these, but it doesn't mean I won't end up using them. And I do like my art glitter glue there. So it's got a red background. So we're going to put that down. I do use multiple adhesives. Sometimes I use a tape runner, but for time's sake, I'm not going to go back and forth with a bunch of adhesives. So I'm just going to use one and call it done. So basically you cut all your pieces of paper the way that it says in the instructions. And again, I already did that because I didn't think you guys really needed to watch me cut all these papers. The big thing with these kits is how to color the glitter images. And I'm going to just throw it out there right now. I'm not an expert. I'm only doing it based on the way that Krazy Kreations teaches it to, you know, the best I can. Sometimes my shading looks great. Sometimes it doesn't. And that's that. This paper doesn't have necessarily a specific direction, but it's supposed to go this way. So it's kind of like the stuff's all over the place, so it can kind of go whatever way you want it to. But the cards are very easy to put together, and I've been getting these kits for about 5 years now, and I really enjoy them. Even though I am very behind on putting them together, I do really like them a lot. And actually, it's going to be hard for me not to put border stickers on these as I go. So I'm probably going to have to do that because the border stickers are really great to hide the seams. And for this one, I think I'm actually going to use silver. So I'm going to try to do the border stickers as I go and just hope that this video isn't forever long. And I'm going to use, I have all kinds of them. They put them in there sometimes with the kits and sometimes not. It just depends, but most of their kits have them. This is just a pearl chain, and I am going to show you guys how I do it. So what's cool about the border stickers is every bit of it's usable, and you really can't see on camera, but this has pearls, and then in between the pearls there's a string of diamonds that you can use as well. I'm going to use the pearls. The poor diamonds do get neglected by me a lot because I tend to gravitate towards the pearls. But I'm going to add the border sticker around the outside of the pattern paper because I feel like it adds a nice little pop. And you basically just stick it down. I know I used some of these in my last process video with the gingerbread cards, so you guys probably have an idea. But you just stick them down, cut them as you need to. They also have card kits that you can buy. Like this is a monthly club kit. But they do sell individual card kits. And I don't work for Krazy Kreations, although I offered, so maybe one day, you never know. But they have a bunch, so I don't have any kind of affiliate link or anything like that. But if you go to www.krazycreations.us, and those are spelled with K's, Krazy and Kreations are spelled with K's, you can click on card kits and you can see all the card kits that they have. But their card kits usually make 3 cards, unlike this club kit, which you can usually get like 12 out of, because each outline sticker usually has 3 images on the sheet. So usually you can make three of each. Again, you sometimes will have to add more cardstock or sometimes your own pattern paper. I don't remember, honestly, if the pattern paper that comes in these kits is enough to do all the cards. I think it just depends on what sizes of paper you use. I'm just putting my border sticker, remaining border sticker back on the sheet. But anyway, I usually do, again, one. Oh, wait, I want that. I usually do one of each one, so I use my own paper, so I couldn't tell you if it stretches for all of them. This is the first time in a while that I'm actually doing them all the same. And I feel like with Christmas cards, it's safe to do that because I can give them all out in the same year to different people without the worry of giving somebody the same card. That's why I like to make them different, because from year to year, I don't remember what cards I've given people, and I don't want to give somebody the same, card. This is our sentiment, and it's going to go here, and we're going to cut a banner piece out of it. So for that, I'm probably going to wait to cut that until I put the sentiment down. So I think what I'm going to do first is just put all the cards together, and then I'm going to do all the coloring at the same time so that we can not be opening and closing markers over and over again. So there's the first one. This one is going to be this one here. So they have it with a white border. So I did alter how I cut some of these papers. So this is not supposed to cover the full background. It's supposed to have a white mat around it. I'm not a big fan of a white mat necessarily. I just feel like it doesn't pop enough on its own. So I cut this to a full A2 size. That's what I did. Okay, so for this one, we have these 3 pieces here, and then we have this one. And I believe that this plaid goes down first, and then this goes here, because the picture only shows this much of each one showing. And then this would be here, I think. I may have cut this one too short, so I'm going to put that one down first. Again, I did alter a few of these pieces. It's still the same design, but I altered them to fit the full front instead of the matted layer. So it's not difficult to put these together, I promise you. I just changed things up a little bit. The Krazy Kreations ladies are used to me doing that too, so they wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I like to make them different for 2 reasons. One is I don't want to give somebody the same card at another time, and also just because I have so many pattern papers, it gives me an opportunity to use some of those pattern papers. So I really like that. All right, I am going to go ahead and put this sentiment down because it's there's nothing else really going there. So just peel it right off and you put it down here like this. They have it off to the right because they're going to put one of these little border or corner. So yeah, there's these little corner pieces that they kind of put there like that. And you can use little bling to put in here, which I may end up doing. But again, you know, for time's sake, I'm gonna just try to get the cards finished first and see what time I have. Now for this one, because the sentiment is gold, I'm gonna use some gold borders, and I'm just gonna go down this piece here. I think I'm just gonna put a gold accent right there just to tie in those stickers. You just kind of guide it with your tweezers. I don't know that it needs anything else besides that. So, and then you just stick the remaining borders back on your border sheet like so. All right, so I think that's all we're doing to that one. All we have to do is these. So again, I'm going to do all the coloring at the same time. So let me put these to the side. This one is our poinsettia, and this one is going to look like this, give or take, depending on how well I cut that piece that needs to be cut all wonky. So this is our base. So yeah, I think these card kits are really good for anybody. They're good for a beginner, and they're good for somebody like me who has been doing it for a really long time, because somebody like me, which could be somebody like you, can very easily spice these cards up if you wanted to do something different. So you don't have to do them exactly the same. You can add to them. And I usually add bling and borders and just really make mine pop a lot more. So like this one right here, to me, feels like it should have a border right here. Now this part, this one says to tear, so we're going to tear that. Oops. Usually I tear in one nice straight motion, but not this time. Okay, so it says to tear. And then this piece, it says cut at a slight angle on the left and on the right. Start at 2 3/4 and then to the left bottom angle, making a skewed shape. So basically it's going to be, I think it's going up and down. I think we're cutting diagonal this way and then kind of up that way. And I don't know that I'm really going to measure it. I think I'm just going to do a slight angle, a very slight angle, I think. That way. And then kind of up this way, I guess. I think it's supposed to be a point here. Like that. I think it's supposed to look something like that. And if it's not, that's what mine looks like now. So that's what we're going with. So basically this thing goes up to the top And this one kind of comes over here. And I think it's supposed to be flush with that edge like that. I think this is what we're going for right here. And then this is going to kind of come in there. So with that said, let's go ahead and glue this down. And again, it may not be perfect. It may not even be how they intended it. I don't know, but I just, honestly, I don't feel like measuring it right now. So that is what we get. And I do like the liquid glue because I have a minute to wiggle it around if I have to, but it looks all right. So I'm going to put that down, and then I'm going to put this down. And then I think I'm going to still run border stickers around the edges. The question is, what color border sticker? Is it going to be silver or gold, or actually a green? A green, guys. So I'm going to use the diamonds that are left on this green. Yes. That's what's happening. Kind of will bring out the green in the paper a little bit more. And I don't know how well the camera actually picks up the borders, but they do have a holographic shine. So they are really shiny and pretty. They really give the cards a finished look. I really like that about them. They just really finish it off. But you probably can't see like the complete awesomeness of them on camera. If you can, then that's awesome. But I just don't think that they're going to come across very good. So yeah, this is basically the process that I spend my time doing when I'm putting these kits together. And again, instead of cutting that many of each one, I would have normally gone through my stash and picked out some other paper just to use up some of my stuff, but I didn't. There we go. We could even go as far to put a border there, which I'm thinking about doing. I think I'm going to. I mean, some of it's going to get covered up, but that's okay. It's happening. I think this is a diamond one too. I usually turn the card, you know, to where I need it. So sorry if it's upside down sometimes for you guys. There we go. So as you can see, once you have the pieces cut for the cards, they do go together pretty quickly. So we can spend most of our time just doing the coloring, which will be good. I have glitter all over this from the glitter paper I made on that plaid paper I showed you guys. Okay, so this last card I'm putting together is actually this bear here. And he's adorable. And usually with the card kits, you do get a couple new stickers. This bear is a new sticker, and that gnome in the first one is a new sticker. The other ones are not new stickers. The poinsettia is a newer sticker, but we did already get that one in another kit before. All right, so this one's got a brown background, and then it's got these papers. So they go like this, it looks like. The white's on the bottom for the sentiment, and then these two get layered like that. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, November's kit is usually Christmas themed. So I always look forward to November's kit. I love the Christmas themed kits. But the other kits throughout the year vary, different occasions. And they usually don't necessarily theme all the cards the same every month, which is kind of cool. You have a variety of sentiments or occasions. So there's usually a paper collection that all goes together. Like it's all one collection. And it's usually their paper that they make. But yeah, it's not all going to be themed. Like this is Christmas. They won't all be like birthday or thank you or whatever. They'll be a variety, which is really nice to get a variety of cards throughout the year made. Or if you're like me, you're not getting them made, you're just letting them pile up in a basket at the moment. I just thought I would do this one just to show you guys. And also they are Christmas cards, so there is a possibility that I could use them, you know, soon if I so desire. So, okay, so this one, I'm thinking about going with the green border again. I really just want to put a border around that. Or I could just do silver. See, that's the hard part. Sometimes I don't know border. I think I'm going to do green again because it will help the green in the paper stand out a little bit more, I think. So I'm just going to take a border around here. That one almost fits the whole way. Not quite. So you just kind of add on to it and then trim where you need to. And you can sometimes just wrap them around a corner without actually cutting them, but I usually just cut them. Let's see if this one will go across the top. And if you have their tweezers, be careful. They are very, very sharp. But that's one of the things that makes them super awesome. Like, they're literally the best tweezers I've ever used for paper crafting. So, yeah. I have several pairs of them. Sometimes I get them for free in, like, their Krazy Crafter boxes. I think I'm about to get one for free in the upcoming one that I ordered. If you haven't done their Krazy Crafter box, they have the videos are on YouTube. They just did one on November 30th. And I did do that one, but I didn't do a video for it because I kind of follow along in their video. So it's not really a video of me making it by myself. So it's really cool. You make 7 projects. You get a lot of products. You usually get free gifts if you pre-order early. So they are doing that. I don't know how long the gifts go and whatever, but okay, so there's that. And then that's our last one to put together. I am going to go ahead and put the sentiment on, which is sending holiday hugs. And this one is empty again because I've pulled out all these already. So you will get a full sheet, obviously. I kind of just try to place it right where they did. And for your words, it's always good to not press them down until you know you want them where they're at. I just kind of barely put them there so that they can, you know, be a placeholder. And then once they're where I want them, I go ahead and push them down. I just kind of use a finger to put a part of it down. See, like that one has to come up a little bit more because you want the whole word in there. This one's giving me trouble. But see, you can drag it. So I'm going to drag there, right there. And then, because once you push it into the paper, they're in there pretty good. And this one's going to take up, you know, like the whole thing. Let's see if there's any way to move this over a little bit. Since I have that border there, it does take up a smidge of my space. But I'm going to make it work. There's just not going to be a lot of space in between these words. There. That's how it's going to look. And now I'm going to press it in gently first, and then I'm going to press it in hard. Okay, so there's that one. All right, so now we're ready to do our coloring, I think. I didn't put my sentiment on my Merry Christmas for my poinsettia. Let me go back and do that. I'm going to put mine up kind of high because I don't know if I cut my shape the right way. And I want to make sure that I have room. I like this font a lot. Okay, I'm going to press that in. Now, sometimes you're going to get like the centers of your E's don't come out. You do want to actually push the word all the way into the cardstock before trying to mess with that. Because if you try to mess with it beforehand, it's going to keep coming up and it's going to be the biggest pain in your backside that you've ever had. So just do it afterwards. All right, so now we have our 4 cards. So let's go ahead and put them here. I don't know if they're all on camera. Let me see here. They're half on camera. All right, and I guess I could go ahead and put my sentiment on this banner. I guess the cards don't really have to all be in frame at the very moment. So this one is Have a Merry Christmas. I love the sentiments that are on some of these. So we're going to put have, oh, they kind of put it up a little bit. Have a, and then where's Mary? Up here. So they kind of have Mary starting underneath there. And then Christmas. And the words all come off on one strip, which is nice. The only thing I have to get for this one is the I. So I'm going to push that in because I already know I'm fine with where it's at. Because remember, this one we're cutting into a banner at the end. So this one we have the S still in there a little bit. This is another reason, see I didn't push that down all the way. This is another reason that tweezers are handy for these products. There, and then the E. And usually the little pieces get stuck on the end of the tweezers. I usually just use a tissue to kind of clean them off as I go. And honestly, sometimes they're hard to get out, so I just leave them alone. All right, so I'm going to cut a banner. Okay, so now what Krazy Kreations calls the guts of the card, which is basically all of this stuff, is all done. Now all we have to do is color our images. So I'm going to show you how they teach to do that. Again, I'm not the expert. I'm just following what I learned. And again, sometimes my stuff comes out great and sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see. Hopefully it comes out good for you guys. So, all right. I'm going to use Olo markers. We're going to start with the gnome because he's the first one on the paper. So we're basically coloring him. And I will say coloring on their glitter paper makes things so much easier. Like, it's so easy to color on the glitter paper versus the cardstocks and stuff like that. So I'm using Olo, and I'm going to use R.6 and R.5. I have my little Olo marker chart here. I do have some more Olos coming, but I kind of look at this to kind of see what colors I want to use. So for red, so you start with your dark color. And with the Olos, you can leave the caps off. You don't have to go on and off. So for the red, I'm going to do these candy cane every other stripe. I'm not going to do any blending at all for these because who wants to do that? Who wants to blend in these little itty bitty spots? Nobody. Okay, so there's the candy cane. So the basis of this, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit and then remember to zoom back out. Let me kind of center my image here. Okay, so the basis of this is you kind of place dark where you want the shadow to be, and as the artist, you get to decide where that is. And what I've learned from them is doing these flicking motions where you get this like feathery look is kind of the best way to do it. I'm going to just, and again, there's no right or wrong to how you decide where your dark and light are going to be, but you kind of want these like feathery strokes that don't end in a straight line, because if they end in a straight line, it doesn't look realistic. So this is what I've done. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to take the lighter color, which is the other end of my pen, and you can use any alcohol markers that you want to, but you're going to take the lighter end. I'm trying to do this so that my hand won't be in the way. You're going to meet that where that dark ends, and you're going to take your light and you're going to pull that color out. And I just do, again, the flicking motions. And remember, you can always add more dark color if you want to. It's just harder to take it away. I mean, you can with a colorless blender a little bit, but not much. But that is what my red looks like. So let me bring that close. So hopefully you guys can see the shading. It's kind of darker in some spots and then lighter. And I can still kind of see the line of where I've left off. So I'm actually going to kind of repeat the process. I'm going to bring the dark up just a little bit more. And I'm going to take the light, and I can leave these caps off, but it's such a habit to put them back on. I'm going to take the light and just take that back through. You just don't want to oversaturate your glitter paper, because if you do, you're going to start picking up the glitter. So you got to kind of let it dry a little bit if you want to go back in there. So I think on camera you can really see the lines better than you do in person, because in person it looks like it's blended pretty darn good. So that is our gnome hat. And then for the bottom here, I'm just going to put some dark for his bottoms here, just some darks right there where I would think the shadow is going to be. And then I'm going to take my light, and again, I'm trying to do this so my hand's not in the way. Hopefully it's not in the way. I'm just going to blend that out a little bit. So that's him. And then for red, one of these presents is red. So let me see which one of these is my dark, this end. So they have this present red. The ribbon looks darker than the rest of the gift. And I think that I'm gonna just take my dark across this line down the center. Oops, it sticks to my finger. And then I'm gonna bring my light out on each side. I'm gonna just kind of blend that out on each side. You're not gonna see a lot of dark here because I didn't add a lot of dark. It does take a little bit of practice. I mean, again, I'm not perfect at it, but I know that it takes some practice to really get the pressure and stuff down. I do need a skin tone. I'm going to use one of my Right Art markers. These are the markers that Krazy Kreations used to sell before they went to Olo's. But I'm just going to color his nose and his hands, which you're not going to be able to see this color real good on camera probably. I mean, I can see it a little bit, but not much. Okay. And then for his beard, I'm going to go in with gray. I'm trying to find my gray here. This is one of them. A gray and a colorless blender. So for his beard and mustache, I'm going to just put some dark gray here, like near the tops of where it would be. And then I'm just going to blend it out to white. So basically you use the colorless blender to do that. You just kind of go where that ends and kind of drag it out. And again, I don't know how well it really picks up on camera. And this gray is a cool gray. It's got a little bit of a purple undertone, which I didn't think about before deciding to color his beard that color. But it's fine. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the top of his hat, I think. Although they kind of have it in a blue. Maybe I should do the blue to give it a little bit of, just so it's a little different than the gray. I don't want it to all be gray. BO3, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, this is light enough, I think. So we're just going to do a little bit of blue. And the idea is just to give this some shadow. And then we're going to blend it out with the colorless blender. So you'll see a tiny bit of blue, which will give it a little bit of dimension, but it's not going to be a blue cap necessarily. This is a good technique with the gray for sure, but since there's already so much gray going on below, sometimes I just use a little swirling motion to kind of blend that together a little bit, just so it kind of fades out into nothingness. And I do realize I forgot his sleeve over here, so this is my dark. To me, the shadow would be right here where his armpit is. And then I'm going to bring that back out there. And the cuffs of his sleeve look like they have the blue and gray situation, blue and colorless blender, along with the top of this hat here. So we're just going to add a little bit there, a little bit there. Again, you're the artist. You can kind of decide where you want it. That's what they always say. There's no right or wrong to doing it, and the learning how to shade just comes with time. All right, so the bow on the candy cane is green. Let me find my greens here. 1.5. And my Olo markers are just hard to find right now. I need to get a new container that has, I don't know, something better to do here. Not those. So yeah, I'm probably just going to make do with what I have here so that I don't spend forever looking for it. But this bow is green. I'm going to just make the center dark, and then I'm going to bring the dark out like that, and I'm going to bring the light out. from the dark. Again, you're just touching the end of where that dark ended and dragging that color out to the edges of wherever you're coloring at. And then this gift has a little bit of green, and this back gift here has a little bit of green. And I'm not gonna bother shading this back gift. I'm gonna do the top of the gift dark, and I'm gonna do the bottom of the gift light. And I keep taking my caps on and off, and I know with these markers you don't need to do that, but I keep doing it. And then this, see, these small things I don't bother with the shading. I just kind of color. I'm just gonna color this one red and green, I think. Just gonna make the bow red, and then the every other stripe red. They have it a little bit of blue, but I'm just gonna do the red. And then his shoes are gonna be black. This gift is blue, so let me go into that. So I got my dark blue, and again, I'm just gonna kind of go across the middle of this line to give the center the dark. Oh, and I want the top to be dark. I should have actually gotten my colors ready earlier before I started filming, because now I'm just kind of gonna make do with what I have, like what I can find easily. This one's kind of hard to hold and show you. That's the downside to using the scan and cut, is when your pieces are already cut out, you don't have anything to kind of hold on to, but you know, it's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to color his shoes black. That's a bullet point. Yeah, you want to use a brush tip, by the way. Brush tip is the way to go for the glitter paper. And only their glitter paper works with these alcohol markers situations. Like, it does not work with other stuff. Okay, so then now that these are colored, you take the black marker and you kind of just outline, like you kind of just rub it along the outside, because the core of this paper is white, and this actually makes the sticker look more finished. Like, I have some on cards that I forgot to do this to, and you can definitely tell the difference between doing it and not doing it. So your fingers will get very inky. You want to keep some hand sanitizer nearby, because if you use hand sanitizer, it'll take the alcohol ink off your hands, because it's alcohol based. But you just got to be careful. You got to be real careful, because you could easily mess up the image that you just colored by doing this. So if you're not sure and you're a beginner, you might want to just leave it alone. But as you get better, you'll definitely want to do this. There's that one. Because the ink on your fingers will transfer to parts of your card. If you touch your card after having ink all over your fingers, it will ruin your card. Ask me how I know. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is use the hand sanitizer. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit for a minute. I'm going to use my hand sanitizer, especially at my fingertips, just to get that off. And you'll probably see me do this several times. And then what I do is I'm going to pop these up on there. I always pop up my glitter images, but for the sake of time, let me just go ahead and finish coloring so that we can see how far we can get here. Okay. Now we're going to do, I got hand sanitizer splashed here. Okay, so now we're going to do this ornament. Well, not the whole card, but the ornaments. So we need our greens. Really need a darker green, and I have them, I just can't see them. Let's see. Just gonna take a second. Yeah, I just can't find them right now. All right, so we're gonna use the greens that we already used. And this one actually looks like they did use a little bit, possibly use a little bit of the colorless blender to make it even lighter than it already is. So let's see. This side's the darker side. I'm gonna just take off both ends. And these Olo markers are awesome. It's basically two markers screwed together. And it's just juicy. It's just liquid inside, and when you replace them, it's like $4. And even to buy them, they're like $4 for a half. Like, it's awesome. Okay, so let me make sure I'm in frame here. Okay, so I'm going to make it so the light source is the center. So that means the sides are going to be a little darker and the center will be a little bit lighter. So we're going to drag out that dark color. I really would like a darker green on here. I really do. God, I can't find my green. Let me just take one more peek over here. Oh, I found it. Yes, okay. Gotta make sure I put the right cap back on. Yeah, I really want this darker green. Although it kind of looks like this green matches what they use, but I'm gonna put a little bit of a darker green on my edges. I'm gonna use the next lightest shade to blend that out a little bit. I just want it to be a little bit darker because the green in the paper is a little bit darker. So I'm using multiple colors on this one, which I had not intended on doing, but just gonna drag that out. I'm actually going over my dark with my lighter color just a little bit to blend it together a little bit better, but there we go. That's more like what I had in mind. And then we're gonna use the lighter colors up here. Actually, this one, that's not the right one. That one's getting used next. So again, you're just kind of deciding where you want the shadows. Since my shadows, or my light source, is going to be on the center, so your lightest color will be in the center, basically. So what we're going to do is take that lighter color right here. These two shades are very, very close. So I'm just going to do it a little bit, and then I'm actually going to use the colorless blender to bring that color even lighter. And the thing is, you always want to make sure it's cleaned off, so I always just wipe it on this paper. And then we're going to blend that out from each side, just to lighten it up in the center a little bit. I do use the colorless blender a lot. I'm actually taking it over all of it to lighten it up just a little bit. So, and then we're going to do this so we can get rid of the green on there. Okay. Next is this one, which is like a red, very dark red and pink swirl almost. So I need this one, and I think our 5.3 perhaps, or 5.1. So this one, I'm honestly tempted not to do any shading on this one because I think I'm just going to, because you have the two tones, I don't think we need to do any shading. I think we can just oh, I forgot to color the top of my ornament. I think it looks like it's yellow, like a goldish color, so that's what I'm going to do after I do this. I'm going to start with the lightest pink I have and see if it's light enough or if I want it to be darker. I think I might go a little darker. Let's try the darker shade. There we go. Yeah, it's a definitely pink and red situation here. Okay, so that's that one. How are we looking here? Are we in frame? Yeah. Sorry, I have to keep checking to make sure. The last one has red and green. So this is going to be red. Let's see, I've got that straight line up there that I don't want. And then we're going to use the lighter red. Yeah, it takes practice to get these feathery strokes down, but they definitely make a difference. And then with the green, I'm going to use some dark at the edges, basically. Well, let's try this 1.4. We're just going to drag that color out, and you just got to practice. It just takes practice. Again, I don't know how it's going to come out on camera, but in person, they look pretty good. Okay, so then I'm just going to pull a yellow. Any yellow, doesn't matter. And I'm just going to color in these. So there's our ornaments. I am going to go ahead and outline the black. I like to do that as I go so that it has time to dry before I put them on the cards. So yeah, we're just going to outline. And you're just laying the marker on the side and just dragging it along the edge. Like that's really all you're doing. And very rarely do I actually mess up my sticker that I just colored. I'm sure now that I said that I'm going to mess one of these up, but it doesn't happen very often, to be honest. And just use your point to get in there. There. And as you can see, I'm still getting stuff on my fingers. So I'm going to lay these aside to dry. They don't actually require a lot of drying. I mean, they're alcohol markers, so they do, the ink dries very fast, but I like to just give them a minute before I put them on the card. Okay, next we have the poinsettia. This one should be real easy. We just need red and green. So I'm going to use, here's my reds. Where's that dark green I just had? Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and show you what these look like. Let's see if this is on screen. That's what we're going for. I'm just trying to keep this zoomed in so that, you know, you guys can kind of see. I'm going to use this like golden yellowish color just to do the center of the poinsettia. And then I'm going to do the leaves, I think, first. All right, so I'm going to use my darker green. And I'm only going to do a handful of these at a time. So maybe I'll do these 3 and then come in with, let's see if this is too light. No, I think it works out pretty good. Again, hopefully you guys can see what I'm actually doing. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way, which is a very uncomfortable way for me to color. So this isn't how I would normally color, but I just want you guys to be able to see what's going on. You just want to do little bits at a time while the ink is still somewhat wet. It's easier to blend if it's still a little wet, for sure. Okay, so there's, oh, you know what? That was supposed to be the leaves. That's all poinsettia. I was thinking they were all leaves. Oh my God. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take one out of my other cards because I do already have another sheet of these poinsettias. So, of course, it's the last card that I look at. That's crazy. You guys are probably like, what is she doing? Let's put that to the side. Let's regroup. These are our leaves. I don't know why I was going for those. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, that's not right. It's just these 3 leaves right here. So, okay. But yeah, luckily I have a sheet of those stickers. So I will have one for the card that I took this one from. For sure. So yeah, once you take your lighter color and take it from that edge of the darker color, once you get that middle section done, you're just kind of finishing out with the lighter color like that. All right, where's that yellow that I used for the middle? Here it is. How crazy. Can't believe I did that. Okay, reds. So I'm going to start with a dark red in the middle of these. I'm going to kind of just do a few here in order. And then take it out with the lighter one. That one's not really light enough for me. I think I'm going to switch that out to the next lightest one. Sometimes I do actually like to blend with 3 colors, like a dark, a mid, and a light, but for this video, for the sake of me not having picked out my colors in advance, I'm just going to stick to a dark and a light. But I do typically use a mid-tone a lot, so But this is a poinsettia with actual poinsettia leaves instead of me coloring the poinsettia all green. And as far as the flicking motion, I did learn at an expo class that usually you are better at flicking one way or the other, like flicking up or down. I learned that in Scrappy Boy's, it was like a hair and skin tone blending class. So it was it was like the blending for hair. And you use the flicking motions for the hair. And you can either flick upward or downward. And we did this swatch sheet where you could kind of see which was easier for you. And I did find that it's easier for me to, I'm trying to remember if it was down or up, because I kind of do both, but one is easier and one comes out nicer than the other. But it was very interesting that it's, you know, more comfortable one way or another for most people. Okay, let's make sure the right caps are on. Okay, I'm going to outline in black. Oops, wrong end. So yeah, we're just going to outline. I have a feeling this video is going to be longer than I want it to be. Sorry, guys. That's even with pre-cutting and, you know, pre-cutting these and everything. But all right, so there's that. So we just have the bear one to do, and I have a big red thumb now. So again, when you're holding on to those things, that ink really seeps into your skin. My hands are kind of red, but okay. So last but not least is this bear with the mug. And oh, let's see, we need browns. I don't have a lot of good browns for my Olo markers, so I'm going to pull from my regular markers. So I'm going to do the bear. Again, same concept. These little ears, I'm just going to do one, but just going to some feathery strokes towards the center, and then the snout area here. Just to kind of show you where I'm putting the dark color. Again, not an expert, not claiming to be one. This is just kind of how I do it, and I feel like most of my stuff comes out pretty good most of the time. Again, there's some times that I'm like, I don't like how that came out, but overall, I'm usually pretty happy. Okay, and then we just have his little feet, which I'm just going to color one brown because they're so small. Honestly, with this sweater, I don't know if I want to do a lot of shading either because it's just small spaces. I don't feel like it's necessary. Okay, so there is like a dark maroony color, so we're going to use that, and it's kind of in here, and then the cup. I'm going to actually, I'm going to color it like the picture, I guess. So the mug has some of the dark color here. Trying to hold this down. See, like from the side, it's hard for me to do the flicking motion for sure. So you'll see that's more of a straight line than I would normally have, but I'm gonna just try to blend it out. This red is too close to that red. Yeah, if I do this again in the future, I will probably try to pick out my colors in advance because I would actually pick different combinations than I'm using here. This is the inside of the cup. I'm just going to color that. And the candy cane is just, you know, a couple red there. Okay, so they used some blue, so I got to find that blue I had. It wasn't even the best blue for the job, but so they did a lot of the sweater with some blue and green. I'm just going to do every other blue and green because Oh, that's his bottom. I forgot to color his bottom. He's brown. I'll come back to that. So there's that. So let me go back to his bottoms with my browns. These browns are actually also kind of close. When the colors are too close, you don't really see the shading very good at all, but this is just what I have right now. This is my current situation. Yeah. Let's try this green. I'm just going to color the bottom there, but I'll blend that second section in. And then these little marshmallows, they had a very light blue, probably like blended out a little bit. I'm just actually going to color them blue because that's just too small of a space for me to want to blend. I have no desire to even do that. So I'm going to outline that in black. I always pick the wrong side of the marker. Make sure I'm like on camera. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. Oops. Okay. There's becoming some shadows here, like it's getting dark. So my lighting is getting to be horrible. Just really wanted to get this video filmed for you guys because the stuff's been sitting here ready to go for a few days now. So I just wanted to get it filmed. But it's been a busy day. This candy cane, I'm just going to kind of put my marker in there a little bit. Oops, see, I put a black line on there. I'm going to blend that out in a second. Because I held it at a weird angle that I don't usually hold it at. Usually your colorless blender will help take that out. Or in this case, I could just probably color more red on it and it would probably be fine. But I'm just going to take my colorless blender. You do have to be careful if you go back and do this like this. Because if you get your colorless blender too close to where you did the black outlining, you will smear all that black all over the place onto your project. So again, ask me how I know. And I'm just going to go back over it with red. And voila. Okay, so let me take this off my fingers again. See how long, yeah, we're almost at an hour here. So I'm going to try to slap these little guys on my cards. Let's start with the gnome because he was dry first. I think I need to zoom out just a smidge. Okay, hopefully that's fine. All right, so again, I always pop these things up. And I'm not going to have the paper sitting here. I don't think it's fair to have the paper showing the whole time with the measurements and stuff. The idea is for people to obviously order the kits, and I don't want to give all the measurements and stuff like that away for free. I just feel like that's not the right thing to do. So that is why the paper is not sitting here. But I am making the cards as designed on the paper, just so you guys can see. Aside from those few measurements that I changed a little bit to cover the whole card, I'm not changing anything else on them. So you guys will see what they're actually supposed to look like. So he kind of goes off to the side like this. This is actually a really cute card. I tend to like more bright and colorful Christmas papers. Like I love when they add pinks and blues in with the reds and greens and stuff and the teals. These traditional colors are nice too, but I do like colorful paper, but I do like this look. And adding the touch of blue in there is kind of cool. So there's that card. We're going to put that to the side for a minute because we may add some embellishments. So then there's these ornaments. So we're going to position... See if I feel like I'm zoomed in still too much. There we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we're going to position them the way that they're supposed to be per the sample, which is like this. And then we have these ornament strings, which we don't have to use the whole thing. We just have to use a little bit. One string should do it. You get one string per card. So I'm going to kind of like lay these down where they are. So this one's going to come about there. And then this one is going to be about there. So yeah, you get 3 of these ornament strings, 1 for each card. And you don't even need a whole one. Okay, so now I'm going to use pop dots to pop these up where they're going to go. Looks like I need more pop dots. Where are they? I love these pop dots. I got them from Stamplistic at the expo, and they were selling them for like, you get 20 sheets for 20 bucks, and I only bought 1 set of them. When I go to the expo next year, I'm going to buy a couple sets of them. These are the perfect thickness. I think they're the 2mm. 1 is too thin, 3 is too thick, but 2 is just right. It's like the Goldilocks of the bunch. I'm going to put that pink one down lower than I planned. There we go. That's pretty. Okay, then the poinsettia that I butchered. Oh, I see what they did. Okay, so see how there's the black ones here? They used the negatives to put those on there. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not because I'm running out of time, basically. It kind of goes like this. I don't know. Let me try. Again, I'm trying to not make this video be mega long. So we're going to just put it where... Yeah, they do use the negatives sometimes, which is kind of cool. They have them closer together than that. Yeah, see, I'm not amazing at using these, but... So there's one. And then they have this one coming out. Kind of like where it was on the sheet, maybe. Maybe just one of these. What does mine seem like it's... You know what? I'm just going to do 2, I think. I have no desire to really mess with that a lot right now. I wasn't prepared to do that. Wasn't prepared to think about these negatives. I usually use their transfer sheets to pick that up, and that's another story. I can't even show that to you right now, but I usually use a transfer sheet to make my life easier if I want to use those negatives, and I don't have that stuff handy. Just kind of put like a little pop on the edges here. There's a chance I may go back at some point and add some more of those on these cards, but for the sake of time, we're just going to add those 2. And I'm just going to kind of position this. So actually, I probably should move these down. Okay, so there's that. That's pretty. I'm going to add snowflakes and stuff to these. I just want to get these pieces down. Now the bears, some of them face this way and some are facing the way mine is. So my bear is going to be opposite of their bear for this card. Obviously, one of my cards, he's going to be the same. Yeah, I know I used too many pop dots. Nobody has to put that in the comments. Okay. So yeah, he's just kind of sitting in this little square. I do like the blue and green sweater, actually. With that. Okay, so that is the cards. Now we're going to go back and just real quick add the, let me put them in the order that they are. We're going to go ahead and add the snowflakes and things. Let me zoom out again. There we go. There are some that have snowflakes. So I'm going to go back to this first one. They did give us this sheet of white snowflakes. And it looks like there's a snowflake on the gnome's hat, like right here. And then there's some snowflakes just placed around the card. So kind of just random. And these are like white. You're not going to see these like super well for this card. And then he has the stars. Where's the gnome? Okay, so the gnome sheet has some stars. So those go here. But again, the point of this video is just to give you guys kind of an overview of how to put together one of their monthly kits. Like if you've been thinking about getting one, but you're just not sure. Just kind of gives you an idea of what they are and how they go together and what kind of level they are. You know, again, I feel like beginner to seasoned crafter. I feel like these are for everybody. All right, and then this poinsettia one has some snowflakes up here, just like 2. And of course you can decorate these as much as you want. Like you can throw snowflakes all over the place if you want to. I totally ruined that one. There we go. I would probably go back and add little gems in the middle of the snowflakes. Not going to do that today. And then there's snowflakes on the actual poinsettia sheet of stickers too. So, you know, on these sticker sheets, you're going to get like a bunch of different little embellishments. So there's one there. And then probably should have used a smaller one, but we're just going to kind of put it there. That's all that's on that one. And then for this one, it just has, I wonder if there's some on his sheet. Yeah, it just has some of the black snowflakes on the bear sheet, just kind of all over the place down here. But yeah, I like Krazy Kreations cards. I like that the glitter images add a nice pop to the card. They're just really cool and unique. And even when you pop them up, there's dimension, but it's not so thick that you can't mail. So I like that a lot. So these are the stickers, or I mean the cards and the stickers that are left. But these are the cards. And so on my own time, I will go back and make the other sets of those. But for now, this is what we have. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any comments in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer it. Again, I don't work for the company, so I may not know everything, but I have been putting these kits together for a good 5 years. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.